I'm here with Ruth Bloom Dimmitt, and Ruth is a 93-year-old artist, poet, previous dancer, and we just wonder what some of the secrets are to your longevity. I've talked to you recently, and you said sometimes it's hard to get going, and I just wondered if you could share with us some of the secrets you have for the long life that you've led, and how do you get yourself going and get out of the confusion that comes along with aging?
Well, something has to do with being very small most of my life and being the youngest child in a wonderful family that worked together, shared, and I just was so positive. And even though the economy was not very positive, they managed to make some progress, and I did too a little bit. And they taught learning because they were always learning new things, not in colleges. Well, my father was learning to be a accomplished engineer when he was working in a hospital which was for training nurses. And my mother was in the hospital learning to be a nurse. And when they met a few times, they decided to get married.
So you say that some of your longevity you attribute to your background and your parents being positive, a positive force in your life, having a lot of love and caring in your home. If you had to share, if there's any dietary tricks, I know you said you were small, so what is your eating habits? What have your eating habits been like, and what would you recommend to people who want to live a long life as far as their nutrition and diet and activity goes?
Well, pay attention to how food affects you. And there were a lot of things that didn't affect me too well in the old days when the food was not the best to be available. But both my parents had different backgrounds, and they were constantly learning. My father learned a lot when he was born in Sweden, and he said when he came to Minnesota, where his older sister had come to live, he found out what it was for people to live in poverty, because it didn't exist in Sweden. And he loved traveling and wanted to travel around the world, and was kind of disappointed in his late 70s, when he found out he couldn't get around the world, and he didn't want to get surgery and whatever he had.
That's kind of a hard thing to discover. I'm just wondering, I've noticed, just knowing you as I have, that now the way that you eat, is that a Swedish way? Did you get that from your parents, or because you're very health oriented, I notice you eat a lot of natural foods, and you've mentioned you don't use sugar or try not to do any sugar. You don't use a lot of processed foods. Do you think that had something to do with your long life?
The sugar reminds me of when I was maybe about 5 years old. I discovered that if I licked my finger and put it in the sugar bowl, I could, and when my mother discovered that, and my father, they no, and they put sugar in a cover bowl. And
So therefore you learned not to eat much sugar, huh?
yeah. And my father was always very interested in different, whenever there was, the new views on food, and he would get little magazines, and that started, very young. It didn't always continue because it made more money to tell people that they should eat this, and make it sugary.
Right, but you don't eat a lot of it, and you do your vitamins and your,
Yeah.
So your typical diet, your breakfast would be what? What would you eat for breakfast?
Would be what?
What would you eat for breakfast?
Oh, oatmeal with oh golly, I can't recall all the vitamins and health food stuff.
I know you mentioned you put cardamom and whole ground ginger, whole ground nutmeg that you buy at a health food store,
Yeah,
right?
So I get some today.
So those are things that you add, and you have the same breakfast every day. Now, what kind of oatmeal is it?
What kind of oatmeal? Just now you've got me thinking.
I think you were saying you got, the steel cut. I believe that's what you were saying before that you
No,
had.
the organic.
The organic
Yeah.
steel
Which
cut or
was local.
From the organic.
Yeah.
So, and do you eat 2 other meals a day, or
Sort of.
you kind of snack throughout the day?
Yeah. A little fruit.
Fresh fruits and
And little exotic stuff like pomegranate.
Oh yeah,
Which you can
all the healthy
eat
good stuff.
for 3 days. and well, my parents were both constant students, of whatever was available, and just they both wanted to learn.
That's a wonderful thing. So it sounds to me like the overarching theme is just keeping your mind open for new experiences and learning
yeah.
and learning and learning and
And they didn't try to fit in with the neighbors, although there was a variety of neighbors too.
So just be yourself, learn, and some of it's roll of the dice. You happen to be born into a good family, so that's awesome. Well, Ruth, I will talk to you again soon, and we'll be able to share some of your advice to others the next time. Okay?
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much for talking to us. Thanks.